Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the loss of the sense of smell. So the olfactory system is the system of which we utilize our nose to be able to engage our environment and to be able to smell certain different scents and to be able to describe them in our mind, and it contributes to our sense of taste. Hi guys, I'm Dr. Tim with Optimized Wellness Center. We're going to talk a little bit about the sense of smell and then also about olfactory training. There was a recent article that came out of the Journal of American Medical Association, and it was produced on July 15th of 2021, so very recent. And this article here was really quite intriguing because it's talking about how we can re-engage the sense of smell. Now, there are a whole host of individuals who lose their sense of smell, and it's really problematic when you lose one of your very important senses. And so this could be caused by a variety of things, including things like having sinus infections. We could also have a tumor in our nose. We could also have certain kinds of illnesses. Things like viruses. Take an example of COVID, that one of the common symptoms is a loss of sense of smell. And then there are also things like neurologic conditions like Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's, where it's common for those individuals as one of the first indications of this disease process is a loss of sense of smell. Now, if you go back in one of our other training videos, we talked about brain balancing, and within that, we talk about how to utilize the sense of smell to engage our brain and to improve hemispheric imbalances that may be occurring. So I encourage you to go back and look at that video if that's important to you too. So with olfactory training, while there are a variety of potential reasons for the loss of smell, of course we need to do a good history taking and a diagnosis to try and understand what might be a component as it relates to that loss of smell. And so to make sure that we're going to be looking into the nose, potentially utilizing imaging if necessary, and taking a good history taking as well. Now, our smell is utilized for the purposes of not only to help us to experience our environment and to be able to enjoy the pleasures of many different scents around us, whether that be through plants or people or other things in our environment, but also it enhances our ability to be able to taste. We taste 5 different flavors in our taste buds in our mouth. So beyond the sense of taste, those 5 senses of taste that we have, we engage smell to get much more nuanced flavor profiles. And so this is really important for us to be able to distinguish those and to be able to have a wide palette array that we can sense, but also it's relevant as it relates to how we socialize with other individuals or we engage and enjoy our foods and drinks that we have, each of which may have a unique flavor and scent to it. Well, when we lose that, it can get really depressing and really we start to lose engagement in social interactions, as well as that can lead to people potentially, if you can't smell or taste the foods adequately, then sometimes people start to gain weight or even lose weight because they become disinterested in those foods or flavors. So with olfactory training, there's research that shows that olfactory training can help us to be able to re-engage those specific neurons that are found up into the nose that have a direct communication into the brain. And so the method of doing this, what you all have been waiting for, is really quite simple, but it is important to have a structured program to be able to perform this adequately. Well, okay, so here it goes. So what you're going to do is first you got to make sure that you removed anything that could be deleterious or negatively impacting your sense of smell. So if you're a smoker, quit smoking. If you have other kinds of pollutants in the air, make sure to use air filtration systems to be able to clean those up so that you've tried to create as neutral an environment as possible and anything that could be irritating. And then we use something called a neti pot. And a neti pot is something that we can utilize, and this is a saline solution that we put in here, and then we use a very specific method to be able to engage this into one of our nasal passageways and it comes out the other, and that salt will grab any bacteria, viruses, or other things that might have gotten in there and will help to pull and draw that out and clean that environment. So that's a great first step. And then after that, the program is really quite simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to utilize any of these different essential oils. I happen to have a handful of these here. This one is peppermint, bergamot, I've got a patchouli, we have some tangerine oil, as well as some rose, etc. So you can really use any of these, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the cap off, obviously, and then once you have the cap removed, you're going to smell that for around 10 seconds. So you're going to breathe in and out for 10 to 15 seconds. So you would repeat this up until 10 or 15 seconds. And then you can switch to the next scent. And so once you change to the next scent, you're going to repeat that same pattern again. Breathing in and out for around 10 to 15 seconds. And you can do this for 4 or 5 different scents in succession. Then you have to perform this a couple times a day, 2 times a day at a minimum, and you're going to be doing this for 3 to 6 months. Now this facilitates something called neuroplasticity. What this fancy word means is that those neurons are going to relearn or learn new things, and we're training that. And so the mechanism of training that also involves you being very conscious. And so it's important to choose a scent that you're familiar with and that you have some memory of. And so when you're smelling that scent, it's important that you engage that memory, that recognition of that scent, and then to smell it. And so you're conjuring up these thoughts and these memories of that scent, and then you're engaging it with that smell of the essential oil. It's important to combine those two things so that we can retrain those neurons to be able to learn again what the smell is of vanilla in this instance, or what the smell is of peppermint in this other instance. So again, it's really important that you choose scents that you're familiar with. If you're not familiar with that smell and you don't have any memory of it particularly, then choose a different one that you would so that you can try and retrain that. What the studies have shown is that individuals who perform this series of smelling these for 10 to 15 seconds, a couple or a few times a day for 3 to 6 months, are able to retrain those neurons, neuroplasticity, and then they can re-engage the sense of smell. All right, guys, if this is something that's been valuable to you, please press the like button. If you know someone who this would be useful for, please share this with them. If you have another mechanism of being able to do olfactory training or re-engaging the sense of smell, or you have some questions, please comment below and I'll make sure to respond to you guys. All right, take care and we'll catch you on the next video.